Alright. Great, let me just move that over here. Okay, I think that's working. Alright, hold on. Okay, so that's not working. That's great. Yay. I need to not cover my mouth, actually. So yeah, no, that's not working. That's great. Great signs all around. So, okay. Alright. Let me just check and see. Alright, cool. So I should probably have myself muted while I'm doing this, but no one's here, so what's the difference, really? Actually, hi. Hold on. Hello. Hi. It's not capturing my audio. That's great. So they couldn't even hear me. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Wait. Okay. Oh no, it is capturing. It's just the stream's on a delay. It's on a delay. Okay, cool. Whatever. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Wait. Okay. Oh no, it is capturing. It's just the stream's on a delay. Okay. So, my chat thing isn't working. I know that for a fact. I don't know why it isn't working, and I don't know how to fix it in any way that wouldn't interrupt the stream, but you know, whatever. It's fine. Who cares? Alright, alright. Okay. Well, I can see your message, so that's great. I can see it. What the fuck? Is your channel like your actual. You need to change your channel name, bro. You need to change it. What are you, 40? What do you mean? What? Your channel name is just. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I know what it is. And that's bad. You shouldn't have that. This is the internet. You're on the internet, dude. Change your channel name. Love you. Bye. Thank you. I am really quiet. Okay. Well, I don't know how to fix that. Hold on. Am I any louder? Am I louder now? Is this louder? I don't know. I don't know if that adjusts my headphone volume or the volume of the mic, if I'm being honest. But, you know. I wasn't typing. I hit the mic. So maybe that sounded like typing? Maybe you're talking about me picking up the controller that I have with me? I need to stop holding my hand up to my mouth because fucking with my tracking. Am I any louder? I hear you a little better. This is not... I don't want to have my... How loud should I be talking? I think is the question. I don't know. Is there a way to check the... Oh, shit. Alright, so I didn't want that. I hope that didn't fuck anything up, me doing that. It's cool. You can change it, though. That's the thing. You can change it. How delayed am I that you're only commenting on that now? Am I, like, super delayed or something? It's really hard to tell how loud I am because I have my headphones in. Hold on, maybe I can turn that off. Does this... Do I sound better? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know how close I'm supposed to be to the mic also, so that probably doesn't help. I need to be louder? How loud should I be? I'm gonna yell at you. I'm just kidding. Okay, I don't know how loud I'm supposed to talk, though. I feel like I'm talking at my normal speaking volume, though to be fair, I am talking slightly quieter than I normally would, just because, you know, I don't want people to, like, be running up. Oh shit. It's fine, I'm dropping stuff. Who cares? Who cares? I'm not speaking at my normal speaking volume? Well, you would know. I don't know. I don't know. Says I have 2 views. I don't know if that's counting myself or if there's someone else here. My mic needs to be louder. I am very far away from my mic. Is that the problem? Is it the problem that I'm far away? I can talk. Ow. That hurt. That hurt a lot, actually. Hold on. Ow. That hurt my ears. Should I just, like, hold it? I can hold it right up to my face. See? It's bad. It's bad me doing that. You know? My mic needs to be loud. Fucker, I don't know how to... I am not a computer whiz. I don't know how to make this shit louder. You're asking something of me that I don't know how to do. I don't know how to make my mic louder. So I feel like this would be easier Oh, so it's the fact that I was holding it far away. It was probably the fact that I was holding it far away. So I just need to bring it closer. I just need to bring it real close. Real close in the fucking. Then I can whisper in your ear. Or I can shout. It's also an option. Okay. If you can hear me, then it's fine. My chat thing isn't working. I'll figure out what that's about next time I stream. Because I'm not fixing it right now. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But if you can hear me and I sound okay, then I think we're good. In which case you can leave if you have other stuff to do. I don't know. I don't know how delayed this is. So I don't know if you heard that yet, but you can. Thank you for helping me. I appreciate it. I'll give you a heart. I think that gave you a heart. I don't know. Gave someone a heart. So there's that. All right. All right. So if that's done, then I think that we can actually start. Hey! Hello, interwebs. I'm back from the dead yet again to talk nonsense, and today I'm talking live. Hello. This has been a shit show to start with, but don't worry. Hopefully, it can only go uphill from here. Hopefully. Knowing my luck, it won't. Knowing my luck, it won't. But, you know, we can try. We can try and make things go uphill. Who's to say? If you hear any of the bullshit happening with my mic, it's fine. Don't even mention it. I will have fun. Thank you. I'm gonna be honest, I thought you already left. This stream must be super fucking delayed. Okay. Bye. Alright. So, I'm gonna be talking about Doctor Who, and because my stupid, fucking iPad decided to not work, it means that instead of drawing, we're gonna be playing Roblox while I talk about Doctor Who for the next however long this goes. However long I can put up with it. That's about what we're doing. Alright? Alright, cool. So, I need to breathe sometimes. Do you ever just forget to breathe? Do you ever have such ADHD that you just forget to breathe? Because I do. And I think that's concerning, but you know. We all have our flaws. And my flaw is sometimes my ADHD makes me forget how to breathe. And I have to live with that, and that's okay. So Doctor Who is canceled. I think that's silly to say. It's not canceled. It's put out to 10-year tender. I've heard it said both ways. I don't know which one's right. I'm not gonna look up which is right. You're just gonna have to live with whichever way I pronounce it today. And that's I have certain feelings about it. I have optimistic feelings, and I have very, oh god, what if they just reboot it all feelings? And those feelings scare me. Because if we just, like, reboot all of Doctor Who, after, like, I didn't get into Doctor Who, like, super long ago. Like, there are plenty of people who have been fans of Doctor Who for, like, years and years and years. I have not been a fan for years and years and years. I've been a fan for, like, I think, not even 5 years? Not even 5. And that means that the idea that they would just, like, reboot it all. 60 years. Over 60 years. And then I become a fan. And then not even 5 years later, they just erase all of it. That would suck. That would suck for me personally. I mean, it would suck for everyone else, to varying degrees, depending on how you feel about it. But it would suck for me personally. It's like, hey, You have this new thing you like? Yeah, no, it's dead. You like it now? It's dead. You're never getting more of it. Like, that sucks. So yeah, I have those kind of like nervous feelings, but I am optimistic in the sense of I don't think if the BBC have any like common sense, any ear to the ground knowledge, I think they understand that like most people with common sense do not want Doctor Who to get rebooted. They just don't. And the people who keep saying, "Oh, the only option is to reboot," are usually people who haven't actually thought about what they're asking for more than 5 seconds. Like, I've heard people legitimately say, like, "Oh, you need to reboot Doctor Who because fucking the lore doesn't make sense anymore." Or like it's so stained from like what happened the last like few years. Like you need to reboot it. There's no other option. And I think that's stupid. I think it's really stupid to say. And I don't know, it's mainly like people who say like, "Oh, Billy Piper came back. How are they going to explain this?" They can't. They need to just start from scratch. Like that's dumb. I can think about like 10 different ways off the top of my head how to explain away what happened with Billy Piper. And people just don't care. People just don't care. They just like, "Oh, let's just reboot it. That's a better idea." Forget fucking, thinking about it, being creative. Fucking, I don't know. It's all dumb. It's all dumb. Can you tell I didn't really have like much of a plan for today? I didn't have much of a plan. I wanted to have a plan. I wanted to, but I kept on thinking of plans, and then when I thought of plans, I overthought plans. And if I kept doing that, we were just never going to be streaming. I was just never going to be able to do it. And if I never streamed, then, you never get good at something you don't start. And I want to get good at this, relatively speaking. I don't think I'll ever be great at it. I don't think I'll ever be great at anything. But, whatever. Life sucks and then you die. That's a quote from a show I haven't watched. Why am I getting distracted by this game? I decided to play this game because it's a game that I can play while not paying attention, and yet I keep getting distracted by it, which is pathetic, by the way. Not because like actually playing a game is pathetic. It's more just because like how I played this game for multiple years of my life. Not Roblox, but this specific game in Roblox I've played for multiple years of my life. And yet I keep getting distracted while playing it. Which either tells you that this game is like super entertaining or I'm just a basic bitch. One of the two. Just pick one. Pick one. It's one of the two. We're meant to be talking about Doctor Who, and I keep getting distracted. Because, like, there's a lot of things I want to say. And it's all getting bundled up. Bundled. Bundled was not the word I meant to say. Fuck it, I don't care. It all keeps getting bundled up in my head. Because there's just a bunch of things that I want to say. And they're all kind of getting twisted together. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna die. Yeah, dead. I was thinking about this the other day. One of the big things people say, like, oh, you can't mix these two things. These two big things in the lore, like, it's so broken that you can't possibly square it. You need to restart. Is the fact that in Moffat's era, in season 6, they bring up the fact that Time Lords are the way they are because of exposure to the time vortex over billions of years. Meanwhile, in Chibnall's era, Jodie is the timeless child. And, like, that's the excuse they give for why Time Lords are the way they are. And that twist ultimately resulted in a lot of incest jokes. But outside of that, it's also just, like, a blatant contradiction. Like, these two things cannot both be true, you know? And so people are like, oh, well, if both these things can't be true, then that obviously means that you need to reset everything. And I think that's really silly because one, we could just ignore it. Doctor Who's really fun that way, where we just like it's one of the very few shows where for some reason people don't even care. They just will be like, "Oh, I don't like that." Ignore. Ignore. No one cares. Oh, the doctor's half human? No. We just ignore that. Didn't happen. Oh, RTD said that woman in the fucking war, what's it called? The end of 10's run. Oh, that was supposed to be his mom? No, it wasn't. We just ignore it. Like, Doctor Who's just a show where we can just ignore things, and then they eventually, like, go away. They just go away. People don't talk about them anymore. And I think it's really weird that people are like, oh, but this thing's too bad. It's too fucking bad. If we let this thing continue to be in lore and we just keep it there, everything's gonna get worse. And we really need to reset everything to try and rectify this. That's dumb. It's dumb. And if, like, I don't even think The Timeless Child is, like, the worst retcon that we've had in recent years. I think the worst retcon we've had in recent years, personally, is the retcon of the Doctor not having kids. Like, that's insane to me. Okay. This seems slightly off topic, but it really isn't. I think that Chibnall really hates Moffat era Who. Don't misunderstand. I don't think that he hates Moffat. I think he hates how Moffat writes Doctor Who. Because those are two very different things. You can love and respect someone and think their writing is shit. Because I've loved people in my life and I've thought their writing was ass, and I'm sure I've been that person for other people. Just because you respect someone and you care about them doesn't mean you think the writing's good. And I think that's how Chibnall feels about Moffat. I think he thinks that his writing sucks. And the reason I believe that is just because if you look at Chibnall's era, like, he does very few retcons for what happens to RTD. Like, he's very respectful about RTD's run. And then everything he ever touches with Moffat's run is either, like, just ignoring it or disrespectful. Like, he brought the Master back after one season. Didn't acknowledge Missy once. They didn't acknowledge Missy so hard that people are still arguing about whether Spy comes before or after Missy. Like, that's how badly that they ignored that character arc. In Chibnall's run, they just fucking said, no, didn't happen, doesn't matter. And that's not... It's just weird. It's weird the way he treats it. He destroyed Gallifrey after the entire 50th anniversary that Moffat wrote was about bringing it back. And look, I didn't like the 50th anniversary either. I also think that it's dumb that we just brought Gallifrey back instead of having an arc where the Doctor moves on, which I thought would have been far more interesting, but whatever, he fixed it. He reversed it. It's fine. But Chibnall was like, no. No, actually, we're gonna destroy it again. We're gonna blow it all up. And for what? For what? It's so silly. No, but it's genuinely... Sorry, I fucked up my tracking. It's genuinely insane to me. Chibnall, his first season, had an entire arc where one of his companions, the entire thing about that companion was that they just lost their wife. That was the entire thing about that companion. And the Doctor, one season ago, lost their wife. And you would fucking think that would come up. It doesn't need to be a whole thing, but, like, you think it would even, like, come up once in conversation, in passing? Nope. Doesn't come up once. Not a thing. And that, like, okay, that's an oversight. But then they have a dead wife dimension. They have a dead wife dimension where the entire thing of the dimension is that this guy goes through it and there's his dead wife, and Graham goes through it and there's his dead wife, and the Doctor goes through it, and then on top of it all, she throws everybody out of the dimension. And you know what the dimension turns into? The dead wife dimension? You know what it turns into? A fucking frog. What? What is this shit? It's insanity to me. The one time in the entirety of Jodie's era, if I'm remembering correctly, which I might not be, but like I'm 90% sure that the one time River Song is brought up in the entirety of Jodie's era is so that 13 can say that Yaz is a better person than her. And that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Look, even if I were someone who loved Yaz, and I know there are people out there who love Yaz, the doctor saying that Yaz is better than River is crazy, dude. They barely know each other. And like, look, I get it. They've been hanging out for a while. I'm not saying that. What the fuck? Oh, I'm not saying that they don't know each other at all, but I'm saying that it's crazy for the doctor to say that someone they've known for like 3 years at that point is just a better person than their wife. What are we talking about? Like, it's stuff like that where I'm just like, it feels disrespectful. It feels like he just didn't like Moffat era Who. And it's like, how could you write The Timeless Child? How could you write a line like that and The Timeless Child and all this other shit and not at any point go, oh hey, this is kind of fucking up Moffat stuff, huh? This is kind of fucking up Steven's thing that he did. Oh man, maybe I should rethink this for a second. Especially given how RTD treated Chibnall's era. Like, it feels disrespectful. Like, RTD was very much like, he acknowledged The Timeless Child. He acknowledged Flux. He did all of that. Even though all the fandom was screaming at him, don't acknowledge this shit, it sucks. He was still like, no, Chris is my friend. I'm gonna acknowledge this shit. I don't care if people think it sucks. I think it would be cool. And then you look at Chibnall's era, and it's like, it's just a completely different thing. And it's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. Obviously, this is just like a conspiracy theory. It's just me fucking around, but I think it's interesting to consider that maybe Chibnall just doesn't like Moffat era Who that much, and that's why he keeps fucking it up. But who's to say? I keep thinking about how easy it would be to fix that one continuity thing. Like, The Timeless Child contradicting Moffat's era is like such an easy thing to fix. You know that gateway that The Timeless Child came through? Or like supposedly came through. We don't even get confirmation that they were thrown through it. Like, it's implied, but it's never stated that that's how that happened. But regardless, the portal we all think they came through, where that portal leads? The time vortex. There you go, that fixed it. I fixed it. The way Time Lords became the way that they are is through exposure to the time vortex. Timeless Child came out of the time vortex. How they got in there? Who cares? Not really important. The point is that they need to be exposed to the time vortex. There we go, I did it. That's where regeneration comes from. Exposure to the time vortex. That's why River can regenerate without it being fucking weird incest shit. Can we talk about that joke for a second? I don't want to be like I don't want to be the fun police when it comes to that joke, but I'm gonna be for a second. It's really fucking weird. Not the incest part. Like, people make incest jokes all the time. That's not the problem I have. My problem is the fact that, like, Amy literally assaulted the doctor. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big thing about her character, is that she did that. And yet, for some reason, even though, like, most of the fandom, I think, at this point, can acknowledge that was a horrible thing that happened. Even Moffat himself can acknowledge that was a horrible thing that happened and he shouldn't have written it. And yet, somehow, some way, we all decided that because Chibnall wrote something shitty, it was just cool to start making jokes about it. And I find that weird. Like, maybe I'm just extra sensitive to it because I've recently rewatched Meanwhile in the TARDIS 2, which, by the way, if you haven't watched that entire video, I'm going to summarize it for you. that entire scene is just Amy going, "Hey, doctor, I know I assaulted you, but you're a whore who deserves it." She doesn't even say I assaulted you. She's just like, "Oh, men'll be men. You're just a man." And I don't mean in the epic way. I mean in the Cersei way. And it's so weird. It's so weird how we all just collectively said, "Hey, I know this was assault, but Chibnall wrote something shitty, so I think I am gonna make jokes out of it." Like, I mean, obviously, like, the most famous example you can point to is, like, the JXC joke. Because, yes, I have seen the entire 5-hour video. It was good. It was a good video. People give that video too much shit. But one thing I really don't like about it is the fact that, like, during the incest joke, they cut to the assault scene at the end of the fucking Angels two-parter. Which is... It just feels kind of icky. Is that... I know that's a really little kid word, but, like, I don't know how else to put it. It feels kind of gross, guys. Feels kind of gross that we're doing that. I get Chibnall did bad, and that's kind of funny how you can say, oh, it's an incest joke. But, like, we don't need to be cut into the scene where Amy forced herself on the doctor to make that point. We can all just point it out and laugh. I don't know. Again, I'm being the fun police. I understand that. It's just... Personally, it bothers me. I'm starting to get the idea that I might not be good at this game. Though to be fair, I'm not really paying attention as much as I should be. You know, speaking of Doctor Who and my dumbass, I made 2 Doctor Who reviews. And I don't think those reviews are all that great, if I'm being honest. I don't think that I disagree with them. It's not a thing where it's like, oh, I think that these reviews are wrong. It's more just that I think the reviews are they're like abridged versions of my thoughts, as opposed to just my thoughts. Like, I don't think that any of what I said is, like, inaccurate to how I feel, as much as it is a misrepresentation because it's so short. Both of the episodes I reviewed were from season 6, which is my favorite season of the show. And I feel like season 6 is a season that, especially if you judge each episode individually, can look a lot worse than it is. And it makes the Wedding of River Song look a lot better than it is by comparison. Because, like, that's the thing. If you look over the season and you just go, hey, all this stuff, it sucks. And then you look over the finale and you go, this also sucks. Then it's really different than all of this sucks. I am speaking in tongues right now. My point is that season 6 has a lot of, like, my favorite parts of season 6 are its character arcs and overarching narratives and shit like that. And I think that season 6, when it's judged individually, can look a lot worse than it is. Because, like, there are episodes of season 6 that I don't personally like. I think the Flesh two-parter definitely shouldn't have been 2 parts. It's way too fucking long. I think that, fucking, what's it called? The doll episode. I don't think that's very good. I think it's a bad episode. Wouldn't rewatch it. I mean, I don't think it's the worst episode. I just think it's not that good. I think that Closing Time, if you aren't looking at it as the conclusion to the Doctor's character arc that season, is kind of just a worse version of The Lodger, which sucks. not the Lodger. I love the Lodger. I will defend that episode, even though the creator sucks. But I really like that episode. But my point is more, when you put all that out there and you judge each episode by episode, and like you can see all the flaws because you're not judging it as one whole thing, it makes the season finale look better by comparison. Like, it doesn't look good still. Like, it still looks bad, but it looks less bad when you don't consider the fact that it just throws away every single character arc. Like, I feel like my review of The Wedding of River Song, like, if you're looking at it and you haven't seen season 6, like, recently, you're gonna look at it and go, well, this sounds like someone just complaining that they didn't get the episode they wanted. Especially since I added the rewrite at the end, which, like, in retrospect, I really shouldn't have done. The fact that I added a rewrite at the end for what I would have done, and I didn't talk about, like, all of the season at once, I feel like it comes across a lot less like me being upset that all of these different plot lines and character arcs were dropped, and more just me being upset that I didn't get a shipping episode. Which isn't really the problem. I don't care. Like, would I love an actual, like, shipping episode with Eleven and River, especially given how everyone treats their relationship? Absolutely, but I understand that I'm never gonna get that. You know? Sorry, I got distracted by coins. Just too hardcore of a gamer or whatever the fuck. I don't care. Like, that's my point. Like, I think that season 6 handles its characters better than perhaps any other season of New Who. Perhaps. I would need to think about it. But it's definitely better. Like, I think the only one that's competing for top spot is probably, like, season 1. Because season 4, I love season 4. I don't think it handles its character arcs the best. I think that it has a lot of good foreshadowing for the story. I don't think it has a lot of good character work in season 4. I think, at least, I mean, season 4 made 10 tolerable, which, I mean, is a feat in and of itself. I freaking hate that guy. But he's not tolerable all the time. He's just tolerable because Donna's there forcing him to be. And then he goes right back to being insufferable afterwards, you know. Whatever. This isn't the point of the debate. Season 1 handles its character arcs really well, is my point. And I think that I would really need to sit here and think about it for a good long while before I could tell you which I think is better, season 1 or season 6. At least when it comes to that. When it comes to the actual, like, episodes themselves, I don't think there's a contest. I don't really like season 1 that much. I mean, I don't really like Russell's writing that much. Like, just in general. I think that season 1 has the best Doctor in it, that being 9, my beloved. But that does not mean that it is the best season, just because it has the best Doctor in it. I wish it did. I wish that was the case, but it's not. Damn, I made that jump. I didn't expect to. Damn it. See, that's what I expected to happen the first time. Time bombs? Oh no. I should call the doctor. This seems like a time war weapon. Sure, he'll have something to say about it. Need to stop using he pronouns for the doctor. I'm so bad with that. It's just because whenever I'm talking about the doctor, I'm usually talking about 11. Because that's my son. Look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for. Season 6, I think it handles Amy worlds better than season 5 does. I think it's controversial to say that I think season 6 is better than season 5, but I genuinely do. I do think that season 6 is better than season 5. Just because it handles its characters better. I would not love the Pawns nearly as much as I do if it wasn't for season 6. Because I don't like Amy in season 5. I mean, I think it's obvious why I don't like Amy in season 5. She literally assaulted someone and cheated on her fiance via assaulting someone. I don't know if I'm supposed to like her, if I'm being honest. But like, I don't like Amy in season 5. And I think 11 by the end of season 5 is great. But 11 in early season 5 still has a lot of 10 in him. In the sense of, like, he has these screaming fits. And I'm just like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. Like, the screaming fit where, like, there's a Dalek, and his way of dealing with it is to fucking attack it. And, like, I'm not saying don't scream and attack a Dalek. Like, obviously you can. I'm not even saying that it's always a bad idea. I'm just saying in this context, it felt a little bit overdramatic. And stupid. It felt a little stupid, just in the sense of, like, there's a bunch of people here. Like, you're yelling at this thing, telling it to attack because it's your enemy. And I'm just like, okay, cool. That's epic, dude. Like, obviously, we want the Daleks to attack. Because... No, I don't get it. Why do we want the Daleks to attack? Like, obviously we don't want all these people to be working with the Daleks, because they could attack them, and that would be bad. But your solution to that is to fucking attack it in this room full of people. And that doesn't seem smart. That doesn't seem very intelligent of you, Doctor. When he fucking loses his shit at River in the Angels two-parter, that one's genuinely hard to watch. Not just for the fact that, like, you know, it's mean. I don't like watching his wife get yelled at because she's my favorite character. But it's also just, like, it's just kind of like he's yelling for no reason. Oh, Amy's in danger. I know Amy's in danger. I'm not saying that, like, oh, he shouldn't react to Amy being in danger. I'm saying that him screaming at River feels weird and wrong. Especially when you have season 6 to compare it to. Where, like, he gets angry, but he doesn't get angry in the same way. I just think that season 6 has the Doctor written better. I know that's controversial because everyone's like, oh, he gets slanderized in season 6. People say that he's dumber in season 6. I could go on a full tangent as to why I believe that is wrong and why I believe people believe that. But that's a discussion for a different time on another day. Because I'm not having that discussion this second. Because that's gonna just drive me crazy. Hi, I didn't want to unlock the chat or whatever. My mistake. I feel like I'm just talking about nothing, you know? Just talking about nothing. I'm trying to keep it on Doctor Who at least, because that is what it says in my title, that I'm talking about Doctor Who. I didn't talk much about the fact that it was cancelled. I didn't talk much about the fact that Billie Piper's a doctor. I don't think there's anything more I can really say on that. It's just a bizarre choice. I don't know why Russell thought that was a good plan. I don't know what part of his brain said, yes, this will get people excited. This will get the views. Like, everyone's response to it. I have yet to see a single person who saw Billie Piper and first instinct was, oh, yay! Billie Piper's back! And not, what? Huh? I'm sorry? Maybe reactors. Maybe there's, like, some, like, reaction channels who were, like, super hyped. They were like, oh my god, Rose is back! The same way they were like, oh my god, David Tennant's... Like, maybe that's it. But I've yet to see a single, like, reviewer or, like, person on Twitter or, like, general audience member even whose response was anything other than, like, what? What do you mean Rose is back? Why is Rose back? What is this shit? Because it's so desperate. It's such a desperate move. And for what? For what? For why? I think that 14 was a bad idea, let alone... I'm not calling her 16. I refuse. I refuse to call her 16. I just don't want to believe it. I'm still in denial. I just want to believe that she's just a thing that happened. She's not the 16th Doctor. Here's the thing. If they canonize her being the 16th Doctor, I'm gonna be so miserable. Just for the fact that, like, that means that our first full-time Black Doctor is gonna be sandwiched in between fucking David Tennant and Billie Piper in every Doctor countdown for the rest of time. And that fact will make me cry. So I just want to keep on until it's official. I'm just going to keep on living in denial. That's not the 16th Doctor. They're going to fix that. Please. Please fix that. Please don't just leave Big Finish to do it. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I would trust Big Finish more if they would stop touching my girl. Every single time, my friend listens to a lot of Big Finish. So every single time he tells me about a new thing they did to River, I'm like, oh my god, no. Why? Why do they keep touching her? Why can't they just leave her be? Why do they keep making her story worse? Look, I don't hate the idea of River having stories outside of the show. That's not the problem. River having stories outside of the show is great. My big issue is that for some reason, literally every single time she's written since probably season 6, if I had to guess, they just keep on insisting, they keep making her marriage worse. That's what keeps happening. Every single time that they write River, they make her marriage a little bit worse. Ever since season 6 ended. And I find that annoying. I'm not saying that River's marriage needs to be perfect, because it's already fucked up from jump. That's not my problem. My problem isn't that 11 River needs to be perfect. My problem is they keep retconning shit to make it worse. And I don't know why. I don't know why they keep doing it. It's so weird. I mean, it's not weird. I understand that there are a lot of people who don't like the Doctor and River. I don't understand those people, but I do know they exist. So, like, maybe a lot of them just work for Big Finish. Maybe that's the problem. That's not true. There's a lot of Big Finish stories which are just River meets another version of the Doctor. And I think those stories were a mistake. I really like the concept of River meeting the other Doctors. I'm not even saying we got nothing good out of them, because River and 4, their little audio, gave us the Doctor calling River my love, which I will never get over. So, we did get stuff out of it. I just think that it's bad for her story overall. I think that the way she talks to Ten in the library two-parter makes a lot less sense if she was if she literally has met other Doctors that didn't recognize her. So then what's so special about 10? Oh, she was supposed to meet 10. That's the difference. Usually they say, like, oh, I'm not supposed to have met you. And, like, that's the big difference, is that he was supposed to have met her, and she can tell because of timey-wimey bullshit, I guess. I don't know. And my whole thing is, like, cool. Cool, I get that. But also, it's still dumb. It's still dumb, and I still don't care. It's such bullshit. Oh no, I'm a turkey leg. Or whatever. Run. Oh, shit. That sucked. What the hell? Sorry, my thing closed out. I don't know why. I don't know why it did that. But you know, whatever. Am I just not turning back into a person then? I'm just staying a turkey leg? I mean, I'm cool with it. Just curious about it, you know? Alright. Super off topic. I rigged this VTuber model for this. And I rigged it myself. Took me like 30-ish days. So if it looks jank, it's because I did it. That's why it looks jank. I got it for free in the sense of I did it myself. I mean, I got it for free, more or less. I bought my computer that I had to rig it on. So, you know, more or less free. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Have I mentioned that I don't know what I'm fucking doing? I have the chat in the corner. Not that you guys can see it, which I need to fix. I don't know how to fix it, but I need to fix it. So I meant to have the chat, like, over my head and have the fucking, super chats or whatever. Not that I don't think I'm able to get super chats. But, like, I meant to have all that stuff and I meant to test it. But if it's not working, then, you know, whatever. I think I win. Do I win? I don't know. Okay. My mic's falling. My mic's falling. Ah! 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 Oh shit. Oh no, I almost died due to shurikens. That's not how you say that. Right. Dakihu. I keep on not paying attention. And then I go quiet. And I feel like that's not very entertaining. I feel like it's not very entertaining when I just fucking go quiet like an idiot. What can I talk about in terms of Doctor Who? The BBC said they might try and get it back. Which, you know, cool. A lot of people had thoughts about that. I was not one of them. My only thought is, oh, okay, so my only thought was, okay, so they want Doctor Who back. Hopefully that doesn't mean that fucking RTD or anyone that's coming back. Hopefully they learn their lesson. But who's to say? You know, actually, no. I did have one thought on it. BBC, pay attention. I do actually have one thought. And that thought is, please, 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 please don't let Pete Matai become showrunner. Pete, I think that's how you say it. My point is, please. I haven't liked a single episode of his yet. Please don't make him become showrunner. I don't want another Chibnall. I don't think that Pete Matai has made a single good episode of the main show. And maybe he made good spin-off material. I think that Chibnall also made good spin-off material. Supposedly, I haven't watched Torchwood yet. But that does not mean that they'll be a good showrunner. Please. Please don't. Alright, that's about the end of what I have to say. I don't... Look, here's the thing. I don't hate Pete Matai as a showrunner. That's not true. I've never seen him as a showrunner. I don't hate him as a writer, was what I meant to say. I don't think that he's an inherently bad writer. I just think that the stuff that he's written has been bad for Doctor Who. I don't know what he's like as a writer outside of Doctor Who. Maybe he's great. On Doctor Who, he wrote Kerblam and Lucky Day, 2 episodes that I did not enjoy. Kerblam was just a mess. I don't think there's been a single person who hasn't dunked on it. Lucky Day, I've seen a lot of people defend Lucky Day. I've never gotten it. Like, fucking, you made an episode, and it's meant to, like, this was, like, in the fucking era that's meant to appeal to, like, this big, it's meant to have this big American push, appeal to American audiences. That's why you made it so the fucking doctor isn't holding a gun, aka his sonic screwdriver. Like, you did all this stuff to try and make it so it's more America or whatever. And then ultimately, what you choose to do is to have an episode where the fucking military organization that deals with illegal aliens should not be questioned. Which is an insane idea for an episode to, like, from jump. From jump, that's an insane idea for an episode. But to do it when you're doing this big American push is really bizarre. That's a really bizarre choice. And I get it, like, that's not what it was meant to be. I understand what it was meant to be. But, like, when I was sitting there watching it for the first time, I was like, what the fuck? Unit? We're not meant to question Unit? Is this trying to say that, like, questioning the military is wrong? Because, like, the problem is it doesn't work with Unit specifically. Like, it doesn't work that Unit is the one we're doing this story with. Unit is a military organization. Why on earth would you be saying, oh, we can't question the military in any context? Like, forget even American. Is this, like, a thing in Britain? Is there a lot of people who say you shouldn't question the military? That's weird. And I get it that, like, Unit's supposed to be more scientific now under Kate. Like, that was a whole thing that Chibnall introduced. Except for she fucking isn't. She isn't. Ever since we got that Disney money, all of a sudden, we're just in the Avengers Tower, and all of our fucking children are soldiers, and they have guns in their segways and shit. Like, no. They're just a military organization. And personally, my opinion is, not only should you, like, not be discouraged from questioning the military, you should, in fact, always question the military. Because usually they're doing something. But you know, whatever, sure. Hopefully he's not showrunner. Hopefully the fact that Russell wanted him to be showrunner automatically disqualifies him in the BBC's eyes. But who knows? The thing is like, I say that, and I don't know who I would want to be showrunner. I don't know, me personally. I don't have any particular ideas. I was watching a video of someone, like, naming a bunch of potential showrunners. And one of the ones they listed was, like, an idea that they would be the people who made Ghost UK. Personally, I've watched a little bit of Ghost UK, and from what I've seen, I agree that would be a great choice. I would totally watch that. I think that would be hilarious. I've always liked it when Doctor Who's a comedy more than a drama. That's why I like Moffat's eras. They're always much more, like, humor focused. Even when they're being dramatic, they're still funny. Unlike RTD, where, like, if it's dramatic, you're just miserable. With Moffat, it's not that. Even when it's dramatic, it's funny. So, like, I feel like Ghosts UK being written by people who, you know, their whole thing is comedy, I think that would be cool. I would totally watch that personally. Plus, I mean, they did what was it called, like horrible histories or whatever. Um, so we might get a lot of historicals, which a lot of people enjoy. Me personally, I don't have any real thoughts on historicals. Myself, beyond like, you know, they're cool when they're done well, but like, there's a lot of people who like them, and I feel like if we had the showrunners of Ghost UK, we'd probably get more historical episodes. So if you're into that, obviously that's all hypothetical. I think even the person who made the video was like, I don't think it's actually gonna happen. But like, that's the only option that I know about, and I think that that would be cool. Definitely better than Pete Mattig. Such a shitty person. Anyway, it's 11:03. I have been streaming for like, I think a little over an hour at this point. I was meant to stream for 4 hours. Like that was the plan. Stream for 4 hours. I don't think I'm gonna get that far. Just because I don't. One, like if there was people here, obviously, like I wouldn't just leave if like someone was here. But there's no one here. I'm more just talking to myself. I have an hour's worth of content to edit down into shorts and shit or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe in a little bit I'll wrap up. Just because a lot of stuff, like I want to be able to be awake enough to fix whatever's wrong with my chat function, like the chat on screen function. And I don't have my fucking iPad capture, which means I can't draw. And I've just been playing Roblox for like a while now. So we have been playing Roblox for an hour. Feels like a while. I don't play Roblox very often anymore. I used to play it like a lot with shit. I used to play it a lot. I don't really anymore. You know, in fact, I think I am going to stop playing. So yeah, I think I'm done playing for now. I'm touching the mic. You can probably hear it. So, sorry about that. Boo. Sorry, I'm kind of shifting around my setup and everything. Hello. Okay, cool. So I'm just switching some things. I don't know how long I've been streaming. I don't know how to check. Is there a way to check? I'm sure there is, I just don't know it. Alright. My plan was to stream for like another couple hours. But if I'm honest, oh hey, I fixed something. But if I'm honest, I kind of need to figure out a couple things about my streaming setup. And I think I think that she was right, the person I was talking to. I think they were right that my test stream probably should be a little shorter. Well, all right. Until next time. I think. Hold on. All right. So, I think that's gonna be it for the night. Bye.